Today's section we'll discuss about data structure operations. So there are four different data structure operations are available. So they are traversing, searching, inserting, and deleting. So traversing means here whenever you take any data structure like arrays or linked list, visiting each element in the data structure is called traversing. Okay, that means we have to access each element in the data structure. So that technique is called here traversing. The second one, searching. So whenever you want to find any record or any element in the data structure, so that is possible with the help of searching technique. Inserting. So here we can add a new item, so new element to the data structure. It may be an array or a linked list. Similarly, another operation is there that is delete. So removing element from the structure, from the data structure is called delete. So these are all basic four data structure operations that we can perform on top of a data structure. Comes to the next one. Two special operations are available. They are sorting and merging. So we can perform sorting operation on a set of elements in data structure. So we can arrange elements in a particular order, either in ascending or descending using sorting technique. And another special operation is there that is merging. So using merging technique, we can combine two sets of elements into a single file that is called merging. So these two operations are special operations that are available in data structures. So the next one, list data structure. The list consists of a set of elements. In real life, we can see the shopping list, groceries list, and list of people they're invited to dinner. So there we have to collect a set of elements. So these elements are here we can call it as a list. So in the list, so if you consider the list is a collection of items that are all of the same type. So if you take grocery items are integers. So the integers, if you take the elements, they are all of a particular order. So, so here in the list, we can insert new elements at any position, either in the beginning or middle or at the end of the list, or sometimes we can remove element from the list. So insertion deletions are possible in the list. So if you observe this slide, array list is consists of a set of elements. They are all storing the elements in consecutive memory locations. Whereas in the linked list, the elements are here we are storing it in different nodes. So if you take each block is a node, each node contains an element and a next pointer. The first node is called here first, and the last node we are indicating here it is a last. So these two are the examples for lists. When it comes to arrays, the first linear data structure. So array is a collection of elements, and here we are storing the elements in consecutive memory locations. So in the array, so all these memory locations contains same type of data, and we can refer it as a single name. So to refer to an element, we have to use array name and the position. So if you want to retrieve any element from the array, you have to specify its position number. So example is here, the syntax is array name of position number. Here you have to specify array name, and there you have to specify the index. So index returns the required element from the array. The first element is always it denotes with 0. So that means array starts with index 0, and the remaining elements are n minus 1. So here if you observe the example, the elements are here starting with c of 0 to c of n minus 1. So here we are initializing arrays in different formats. If you observe the first example, here we are initializing elements in the declaration itself. So int n of 5, that means here we are creating array with 5 memory locations, and we are assigning elements 1 to 5. That means directly we are initializing the time of declaration of array. So if you want to initialize all elements with 0, simply you have to assign int n of 5 equal to 0. So all elements of the array, that is 5 locations, now it contains the default value of 0. If size is omitted, like if you take int n, so here there is no size. That means depending upon the number of elements, automatically the compiler assigns the required space. So 5 initializers, therefore 5 element array. So here the 5 elements are there, automatically the memory, the compiler provides the 5 blocks. If 10 elements are there, n contains of size 10. So that is called dynamic initialization, dynamic memory allocation. Now the another type of array, two-dimensional or multi-dimensional. So multiple subscripted arrays. Suppose if we take int b of 2, 2, that means we are creating array of 2 by 2 matrix. So initializers are grouped by row in braces. The first block indicates first row, the second block indicates second row. If not enough, unspecified elements are set to 0. If the elements are not supplied properly, then automatically it assigns 0 to remaining elements. So if you take B of 2, 2, that is a two-dimensional array, but for the first row, we assigned only one element 1. So that means automatically take the second element as 0. Whereas for second array, second row, 3 and 4. So whenever you want to refer any element in the matrix, so you have to specify B of 1, 1. That means what? Now it returns 4 because the array starts with 0. So 1 indicates what? Second row. And here the second subscript indicates second column. So second row and second column is what? 4. Now if you print B of 1, 1 in this format, it returns 4. Now here array operations. So now so far we discussed about one-dimensional, two-dimensional arrays. Now if we want to implement those the array operations, so certain functions are required. So if you observe the first slide in array operations, hash include stdio.h. Now it indicates, so now we are initializing, we are including the header files, standard input output header file and console input output header file. Now after that we declared some of the elements and then main function. So printf enter number of elements of array. So how many elements you want to take? That specifies n. So suppose if it is 5 and value 5. Suppose that means you want to insert, you want to store, you want to allocate memory for 5 elements using arrays. So print enter elements. Using this for loop, we can accept the values from the user. Okay, if n value is 5, you have to supply 4 or 5 elements using this for loop. So now the do while loop, in the do while loop, you will get a menu here. In the menu, the first option is what? Insert. The second one delete by position. Third one delete by element. So now you have to accept choice from the user. Switch is a choice. So if the user choice is 1, the element here you have to provide element because you want to store, you want to insert that particular element in the specified position. So enter the position here, position, element comma position. Now we are invoking a function insert. Okay, so we are calling this function insert by passing element as well as its position. And whereas in the case 2, suppose if you select the 2, now it asks for the position so that it deletes the particular element from the position. Now in the case 3, now you are again you are performing the same operation delete, but in this case you are deleting the element using its value. In the previous case, by using its position, now in the case 3, you are deleting that element using its value. Okay, another case. If you supplied an invalid number, so that means the value which is not there in the array, then automatically it displays the invalid selection. So this is about the array operations. In detail, we'll discuss in the next section the remaining operations.